I'm Greg Szulgit, and I welcome you to Unlike This Video Log. Today I want to talk about something called the Sports Illustrated curse, at least some people call it that, and talk about why it's important to understand it and the implications it can have on our lives. Now, the Sports Illustrated curse, many athletes believe in. It's the idea that if you appear on the cover of Sports Illustrated, you don't want to appear on the cover because you're likely to have not such a good following season. Now, this may sound silly, but it turns out it's true. How can it be true? Okay, the curse part, the jinx, is not true. That's silly. But actually, yes, if you appear on the cover, you are likely to have not such a good season. How can this be? Okay, let's look at, we're going to make a graph for standard athlete, right? We'll invent an athlete here. Okay, over time, of course, there's a training period. Okay, we're going to check in on them from year to year. If we checked every year, and this is a measure of their goodness on the x-axis here, they might become a really good athlete, and we're going to check on them the next year, and they're going to be really good, maybe even getting a little better. And every year, we're going to sort of check. And if we average out their, every tournament that they do that year, if you took an average, you would find something like this. They're going to pretty quickly peter off because we all get old. And let's draw kind of an average line through it. Okay, so you put a line through it, you might get something like that. And here's their peak ability. But if you were to check in on more than just, if you didn't just average them, if you checked in every single day or every single tournament they played, of course it wouldn't look like this. There would be kind of fluctuations all around. Some days are going to be better than others for them. Now, the key is, if you're working at Sports Illustrated, if you're the editor, when do you tell your reporters, hey, that's the person we got to get on the cover. Let's go get their picture. Here, right? Or here. The time when they do something amazing. Now, whether or not they appear on the cover of Sports Illustrated, that's the time they're going to be chosen, if they're chosen. But that might just be sort of an expected blip in their daily activities. They're going to be going up and down. The likelihood that they will drop back down next after that is actually pretty good. The more outside, the more extreme their performance, good or bad, the more likely it is to sort of go back toward their average. It's called regression toward the mean. The mean being the average, regression being that you're going to move toward it, either up if you're already down, or down if you're already up. So, it's a pretty easy one to solve. Why is it important? It's important because this doesn't just occur with sports performance, of course. It occurs with our health. It occurs with crime, statistics. It occurs with all sorts of things in daily life. If you are feeling particularly bad one day, and you do whatever, you take any number of medicines, you do a dance, you cast a spell, you pray, whatever, the likelihood is you're going to get better unless you die, because every illness you haven't died from, well, actually, unless you have something chronic, my apologies, often you get better. The question is, would you have gotten better without that medicine, without that any activity that you did? It can be a difficult question. Maybe one of those things was effective. But you have to keep this in mind, that it might simply be explained more easily by regression toward the mean. Now, the example of the Sports Illustrated curse, as well as other examples, are given in a book that I really enjoy called How We Know What Isn't So, The Fallibility of Human Reason in Everyday Life by Thomas Gilovich. It's an old book, but the examples are good, and it's generally fairly well written. I recommend it if you find this sort of thing interesting, if you want to learn more. And whether you agree with me or disagree with me, you've taken a few moments of your day to listen to what I had to say. And I respect you for that. If you want to hear more, please subscribe by clicking on the button, or go to my website.